Perfect. Well, the market we work in today is dynamic and it's evolving faster than ever before. Now, as an industry, we look at some very big challenges, whether it's adapting to advancements in technology or expanding our business to open new opportunities for growth. One thing is for sure, we'll need to collaborate, challenge, and engage in ways that we have never before. My name, as Wayne said, is Jacki Beierle. I'm the product manager for drain cleaning at Milwaukee Tool. And today I'm going to walk you through a mature market with massive upside for revenue for you and your business. Today we'll discuss specifically about the benefits of adding drain cleaning to your business if you don't already, and the importance of having the right equipment for the job. Now, as you can see from these images, hopefully no one's eating snacks right now, but drain cleaning traditionally is not the most glamorous job out there. But as I said, there are definite benefits to including drain cleaning as an offering for your business. One, it allows you to be a one-stop shop for your customer. Now, usually, I'm sure you're the first call for them when plumbing needs come up, and so this just allows you to be able to satisfy their needs with one other item. It also it gives growth potential for your employees, rounding out the amount of work that they are knowledgeable about, and then it also increases your profitability. So when you look at the complete service solution, drain cleaning is just one piece of a whole process, and that represents tremendous opportunity to increase profitability for your business. The last thing here is that it's inevitable that drains are going to clog, and so it's really the only recession-proof industry is drain cleaning. So lots of opportunity, and it's a great growth avenue for your business if you don't have it already. Now, it's real important that you have the right tools for the job. And traditionally, the tools you see on the screen here were all that used to be available to you. As you can see across all these different brands, they all look exactly the same. And that's because each one of these manufacturers got into the drain cleaning business as a cable manufacturer, and they use the machines as a means to sell more cable. Now, what you're going to see from Milwaukee is we're not only going to be the innovation leader in the tooling, but in the cables as well. And the other thing you notice here is that each one of these machines have cords attached to them. Now, it's not because the technology isn't available, because you look at some of the things that we put our M18 batteries on today, like rotary hammers, mag drill presses, whole hogs, all of which are much more demanding from a power standpoint than a drain cleaning machine. You guys are really the most mobile users out there, so cordless means much more in the drain cleaning application than in some other jobs, because mobility is one aspect of it, but just having the safety of using cordless around freestanding water as opposed to cords, which could bring upon the potential risk of electrical shock. And then just also cordless provides you power supply to work on jobs without power or where you have limited access to power. So definitely, as we talk about the right tools for the job, each one of them will incorporate cordless battery. But what I want you to see is that all the Milwaukee drain cleaning products solve the most fundamental challenges that you and other drain cleaning professionals face on every single job. So that applies to just getting the machine to the drain, containing the mess, protecting yourself and your customer's home, and then just overall making you more productive and giving you tools that are make the job easier for you. And probably the best example of that is our M18 fuel switch pack machine. This is really the first to combine the benefits of both sectional and drum machines, and it targets the applications anywhere from small to medium drain lines inside of a building. Now, when you look at traditional methods for those types of drain lines, you really only have the option between a sectional machine and a drum machine. And I'm sure some of you on the call are actually thinking about this right now. Some of you are sectional users, whereas some of you are drum users. Both of these machines have the ability to complete the job and unclog the drain. So it really comes down to your preference with which machine you choose. Sectional machines are viewed as the lighter option because the machine is separate from the cables. But the problem is now you have a 10 to 15 foot section of cable behind that machine, and you have to start and stop and connect, which is not the easiest process. Now, on the other hand, the second option is a drum machine. Drum machines are a little easier to use because it's feeding one contained cable, one continuous cable, but now those machines are very heavy, 80 plus pounds. And even if some of these drum machines that have wheels don't help you if you're getting in and out of a service van or going up and down stairs. So with M18 Fuel Switch Pack, it's really the first to provide the benefits of both. You get the modularity of a sectional machine, but the continuous cable feed all contained in a drum. So this machine will do up to 100 feet, but each of the drums have only 50 feet of cable. So a lot of times you don't need more than 50 feet for the job. This allows you to not be burdened by the weight of a 100-foot cable. It's the first machine with a backpack, allowing you to strap it on your back and then walk up any ladder, stairs, jump over baby gates, any obstacles that you run into on the job. And having this one powered base and multiple drums, you can actually just swap the cable drums out depending on the drain line size, really optimizing that tool for the job at hand. Now, it's the first drum machine with electronic foot switch. So not only is that more durable than the air hoses, but it also allows this tool to have a brake mechanism that's going to slow it down up to 5 times faster than traditional drum machines, ultimately giving you more control over that cable. And then lastly, even though it's run off our M18 battery, it still is more powerful than all the corded competitors. And I'm going to show that to you in this video right here. All right, so you're not going to hear any volume, but I'll explain it to you. What this is you have our M18 Fuel Switch Pack on the right and the competitor on the left, and they're both hooked up to a computer screen. So as soon as the person in the video steps on the foot pedals, you're going to see maximum RPMs under no load. Now the computer screen the computer is actually going to apply load onto both these tools as that speedometer dial turns to the right that you see in the bottom middle of that screen. And so you'll be able to see the red line indicates Milwaukee, the white line competitors. You'll be able to see which machine is able to maintain the speed as load is applied. So here they go. It's building up to maximum RPMs under no load. And now as the dial shifted to the right, you can see the corded competitor drop in RPM, simulating what it would happen if it was in a very tough clog. So as you can see, cordless does have more power than corded. All right. Now cables are really the foundation of drain cleaning and apply across all different tools. And a cable is really a tool is only as good as the cable that's inside of it. The biggest challenge that people face with cables is rust. Not only does rust stain, it makes it difficult to feed, but ultimately rust is steel particles that flake off of the cable, directly impacting that cable's performance and life. Now Milwaukee cables with rust guard plating actually resists rust over 20 times the competitors. And this video I'm going to show you right here is going to actually prove that for you. So what we have is we're mixing a solution. There's hydrogen peroxide, vinegar, and salt. And the combination of those 3 things is going to accelerate corrosion on cables. Now, if you can imagine, those 3 things are pretty common household items. So it's inevitable that your cables are going to come into contact with it. What I want you to realize is that these three ingredients combined aren't even as corrosive as something like Drano. And it's pretty common that if you guys get a call from a homeowner on a clogged drain, they're probably going to try to use Drano first. Yep, the last ingredient is salt. So after he's done mixing all these three things, you'll see he'll drop the Milwaukee cable into one bin and the competitor in the other bin, and then we'll speed up the video and you can see how drastic the difference is. So that orange stuff you see in the competitor bin, that's not grease. That is literally steel particles flaking off that cable, which, like I was saying earlier, directly impacts performance. You'll see a little bit of orange that's starting to come off on either end of the Milwaukee cable, but that's just because we snipped the ends, therefore exposing the inner metal. And so it's the combination of Milwaukee's rust guard plating, our proprietary wine geometry, and solid polymer inner core that make these cables the best drain cables for drain lines inside the building. And you can use Milwaukee cables with any of the competitor tools, any other professional brand drain cleaner, and it'll actually make your drain cleaner perform better. So we'll move on. Probably the most common job that you'll run into in drain cleaning is going to be toilets and urinals. And traditional methods for these types of jobs, you really have two options. You have hand tools, which are pretty awkward to use since you have to crank your hand in a clockwise motion and push down at the same time. It's kind of like patting your head, rubbing your belly, so it's a little awkward. The alternative to that is a drain machine. And as you can see in the picture on the right, you actually have to remove the fixture in order to use this machine on a toilet or a urinal, because there's nothing on a drain machine that will protect the porcelain from being scratched. Now, our Trap Snake porcelain auger system is the first to provide is the first powered solution designed specifically for use on porcelain fixtures. So we have a toilet auger and a urinal auger that work off that same powered source, and you can switch it between your two tools. Now, it's not one of our standard drills that we chucked up to this tool, and you never want to do that because the drill is way too powerful for porcelain. The Trap Snake has low torque, low RPM, going to give you the right amount of power and speed to get through the trap, clear that clog, but you won't damage that fixture. Both these cables have additional cables stored inside of them, so in case you need to reach a little bit further. But that's standard across any 6-foot toilet or 4-foot urinal auger. But what makes these the easiest extension is that they're the only ones with a lock mechanism that holds that cable in place for you while you're doing the telescoping motion. So it's a lot easier to use. And then lastly, these are the first toilet and urinal augers with replacement cables. So now you can invest in a better, more durable tool and just replace the cables as needed. Another common job that you'll run into is going to be fixtures and small sink lines. And Milwaukee has a number of options for these types of jobs. But traditionally, there's really two types of machines. You have your handheld machines and you have your freestanding machines. Problem is there's a wide range of applications. So you could end up using these machines overhead to reach a clean out or below a sink. And neither one of these tools are the best for both applications, because handheld machines you can only use in your hand because of that exposed spinning drum. And then freestanding machines you can only use on the ground because you need two hands to feed the cable. Now, our M12 Drain Snake was the first tool we launched in drain cleaning, and it's really the smallest, lightest, most portable machine on the market. It gives you the portability of a handheld machine, but without that exposed spinning drum. So you can literally work right up against a porcelain fixture and not worry about damaging it. And then that flat base, as you can see in the image, allows you to set the tool down and free up your hand for easier cable feed. And even on our M12 battery, this tool maintains speed under load better than the corded competitors. So that means you're not going to bog down as much when you're in a tough clog. Now, this past November, we introduced the M18 Fuel Drain Snake, and this really represents next level of performance for handheld machines. So if anyone here has ever heard of Fuel, I'll just give you a little background in case you haven't. Fuel is our premium line within cordless, and we don't utilize this brand name unless a product represents a breakthrough in both performance and functionality. So from a performance standpoint, this is actually the first drain cleaning machine to utilize a brushless motor. That means it's going to run much more efficiently, giving you more power than corded competitors and multiple jobs on a single battery charge. Now, from a functionality standpoint, this machine has the most advanced cable feed system on the market. By pushing forward on that nose cone, it automatically adjusts to whatever cable size that you're using, and you can actually twist lock that feed into place. So one, you're sure you're feeding, but two, it allows you to also vary the speed of feed. And then when you need to work the clog, you just push back and you can twist lock the cable lock in place, giving you that best grip on the cable. And then our M18 Fuel Drain Snake is the first handheld machine with a fully enclosed drum, providing both protection for you and the fixture and ultimate mess containment. The last snake machine we have is our air snake, and it really provides an alternative to cable machines. And when you'd want to do that, you can see here in these images, cable machines, there can be a few challenges, like you always have to remove the P-trap, and just maneuvering the cable through old drum traps or tight bends is difficult, but not to mention the mess you get when you have to bring that cable back from the drain. Our air snake is really the fastest, easiest way to unclog a drain, and that's because it doesn't use a cable. So now how it works is it utilizes air that the tool builds up and the water that's in an already clogged pipe to completely flush that out. So there's a pressure dial on the top. You can set it anywhere from 0 to 50 PSI. There's multiple head attachments so you can use on any 1 to 4 inch drain, toilets, and there's even an extension for when you're in those deeper waters. But really, this is the best first line of defense tool. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to replace the cable machine with it, but it is a great complementary tool because it is better at certain jobs. So I'm talking about slime or sludge, something that a cable would just poke around at in a pipe. This tool, since it uses the water and creates a tidal wave to actually flush the clog out, it does a better job cleaning those pipe walls. I know I ran through a lot of products real quick here, but the Milwaukee drain cleaning lineup is a full line of solutions that will unclog any drain inside of the building. So whether you've been clearing lines for 20 plus years, or if you're looking to potentially get into the business, these are going to be the best solutions for you. This is this slide that we're going to be giving Wayne the presentation, and if you just click on this image here in this slide, it's going to take you to a link to show you the product video with user testimonials tied to it, so you can hear from other professionals their opinion on this platform.